I'm Soldier Boy. Did you know drugs and drug-related crime have become a nationwide problem? All across America, drugs are destroying people's lives. But you don't have to be a superhero to fight back. Because your superpower is just saying no. So when someone offers you drugs, you tell them Soldier Boy said taking drugs is not cool. And anyone who does is a loser. Remember, real heroes don't use drugs.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Comic Book Burrito Extra Beef. My name is Darien.
My name's Landon.
And today we got season 3 to review. This is the final, well, officially caught up with this show now. Well, I've been caught up. Landon just caught up. The Boys season 3. And yeah, we reviewed seasons 1 and 2 over the past few months. You guys can check those out. Those episodes are out on the channel and on Spotify and all that. But yeah, so I mean, like, before we get into talking about season 3, let's talk about, I mean, season 2 ended off right with Stormfront, and they had Homelander had Ryan, and there's all that mess going on. Becca died. Homelander on the roof, no pants on. Not gonna explain that scene anymore, but
I can't remember what was he doing.
Stop.
What was he doing?
He wasn't doing anything.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he had an itch and he had to scratch it.
Yeah. I get those, man. It's crazy.
Oh Lord. But yeah, we're on to season 3 now. Personally, my favorite season, because I think it's the most rewatchable season.
Yeah, I had very high expectations. You tell me about this? This is the season. You know,
it's my favorite season personally. Like I said, I really like the season. I know a lot of people think that the show gets worse as it goes on. Like season 1 was the best, season 2 sucked, and season 3 sucked. But I think like it's gotten better since it's gone on. I don't know.
But you're saying, excuse me, holy crap! One character carries this.
Well, I can't say that. I think they all are great in this. My favorite character.
Your favorite?
My favorite character who doesn't even show up until episode 4.
Yeah, a bit later.
That'd be Soldier Boy. My favorite thing, I can't say that he's my favorite character. My favorite thing out of this whole season is the relationship between Frenchie and Kimiko.
Oh yeah,
I absolutely love them. They're like, if one of them die in this show, like I don't know what I'll do. Stop watching it. That's not...
I won't go that far with you because you'll recommend it to me. About you gotta watch season 4.
Well, yeah, I will.
You gotta watch it. Well, when you have a setup like that, man, it would be crazy. It'd be crazy if freaking like Butcher did something.
Yeah, well, he said he wants to. His whole plan's to kill. He didn't say it in the season. He tells Maeve, he says, "You all gotta go, every last one of you."
Yeah.
And so he's working with Soups like Starlight and all that, but eventually.
That's like a crazy thing to say. Like imagine I don't know. I could imagine like saying that to like someone like especially like someone like on your team. Like I don't, y'all got to go here at some point.
Yeah.
So crazy.
So before we get into each individual episode, what is your base thoughts?
I liked it. It is definitely
like overall.
I mean, again, high expectations due to all your fault, due to you. You're telling me this is your favorite season personally, and I took your word for it, and yeah, I'd say it's probably my favorite season as well. A lot of it having to do with again the relationship between Frenchie and Kyle. I can never pronounce her name right. What's her name?
Kimiko.
Yeah, Kimiko. Like as just mentioned a minute ago, is really really good. Um, Now something else I really liked.
Hold on, real quick, because you mentioned that. Did the musical thing throw you off?
It did.
Yeah.
It really did. I was like, what? I mean, it very very much did throw me off. I was a little.
I mean, they did that in the first ever episode 2 this season when she walks into that girl playing the piano and she starts singing all of a sudden.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
like,
just like,
what?
whoa.
And then it was like, oh,
Got them pipes, man. It was crazy.
I think that was the actress's actual voice to her singing.
She ain't bad. She's pretty good. But, I mean, I liked it. That whole relationship, obviously, hands down, Butcher's always good. Soldier Boy. I got like something in my throat. I'm trying.
Soldier Boy talking about Bill Cosby, America's dad.
But yeah,
made some strong drinks.
The Bill Cosby of Bill Cosby Captain America. I mean, he I get what you mean now. I'm like, how is Soldier Boy not a good guy? He's probably, he's a little screwed up, but he's got it.
No.
Oh my God, the stuff he does is so hilarious and super. It's just so it makes you uncomfortable,
Yeah.
and it's almost it's almost terrible to know, but the crazy part is there's probably people like him out there.
Yeah.
It's really weird. It's funny though.
So here, let's we'll touch on more in depth on a lot of that stuff here in a little bit. Let's start going through the episodes, I guess. Starting with episode 1, Payback, directed by Phil Sgriccia and written by Craig Rosenberg. This Payback is the name of the team that I think Tech Knight was a member of this team in the comics. It was the one with like Mind Droid, I think, and I think Ladio was on there too with him. There's just that whole team he was on.
I had to like question you for a minute. I was like asking like, what were you talking about? Because you said Tech Knight, I'm thinking about our comic book. I'm just like, what? Like what? Crossing over with the boys? Like what? But I was like, oh, Tech Knight. I realized.
Yeah. I want to go and say this because we'll talk about it with this episode because it's mentioned in this. I've seen Gen V. I watched Gen V when it was out, and because obviously it's been a while since I've seen The Boys. I watched it when it came out, as well, and I didn't realize how much exactly this season set up Gen V like a lot.
Oh yeah, much.
It's they mentioned in the first episode. I'll get to it right here. I'll read this first. 1 year after the Stormfront scandal, the boys work as contractors for Victoria Newman's Bureau of Superhuman Affairs to apprehend rogue supes with Huey Campbell as their liaison. Vault CEO Stan Edgar appoints Annie January, who is now publicly dating Huey, co-captain of the Seven, to repair Vault International's reputation and unsuccessful attempts to sell V-24, a compound V variant that can temporarily grant superpowers to U.S. Secretary of Defense Robert Singer. Queen Maeve secretly works with Billy Butcher and has him investigate Payback, a disbanded superhero team whose leader Soldier Boy mysteriously died, in hopes of finding a weapon capable of killing Homelander. She also gives Butcher several vials of V-24, which he considers using. Huey encounters a man named Tony, who claims to be Newman's best friend and calls her Nadia. Suspicious, Huey tails the pair into an alley where Tony urges her to tell the truth about Red River. Now, this is the Gen V thing. And they go to the Red River Institute, I think, at some point in this season. Huey does. But Red River is where the bad kids get sent who don't know how to control their powers, and that's where the main character Gen V was about to get sent before she was brought to Godalkin University. And if you look in the episode where he goes there, if you look on the computer, the main character from Gen V is on the computer on the list of students.
Oh, okay. I didn't notice that. No,
Yeah,
actually,
same
I
actors and
didn't
everything.
notice that, but I remember you sending me a picture a while back
Yeah.
of like, oh yeah, they were hinting at this a while back, and then I saw that, and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Let's see here. Where was I at? Oh yeah, so Tony, calling her Nadia, and he tells them, wants her to tell the truth about Red River. She refuses, prompting Tony to retaliate before she kills him with her powers, unaware of Huey's presence. Yeah, so Newman's got that. Well, I can't. I know what power she has, but I can't spoil it because it actually is a spoiler for Gen V, which we'll be reviewing next year at some point. Um, whenever that'll be. It doesn't fit into the extra beef schedule this year.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, she pops him, I guess. And I think that was the end of the first episode, really. Pretty interesting start to new season.
Oh yeah.
Homelander's still out doing some questionable things.
He's always been doing questionable. He's still doing it. It's so crazy.
Yeah.
I find like how he like there's like feels like there's just no hint of like remorse with him.
No. This wasn't the episode where he was. I'm trying to remember everything that happened in the first episode, besides like what I read. I know Butcher is like, oh yeah, the opening.
Oh yes.
What one of the most disgusting scenes
To
in
put
the
it
boys.
lightly.
I don't want to explain it, but it's to say it takes the Ant-Man Thanos butt theory and makes it 10 times worse.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Ugh, gosh. I mean, I know you've seen that clip before you even
Oh
saw
yeah.
this.
And it's so
And then Frenchie walks in on it. He
oh
tries to
yeah.
run away and then eventually gets to the point where Butcher runs in and traps him in a bag of cocaine.
I mean it's just like
I love Butcher.
no, you know about just you always have one of those things like you don't watch the show and eat at the same time. I was at my lunch break at work.
Oh, Lord.
Or I was I was eating some you talking about like I just got if you've ever DoorDash, you know it's expensive. You know?
Mm.
I literally wasted a DoorDash order
Oh my
because I
God.
saw that like
Yeah.
I don't want this no. I don't want this no.
Wow. Well, you're welcome for ruining your lunch.
Oh yeah. I should have known. I didn't realize it was that episode. Like I knew that was coming up, but I could not remember. I was like, maybe that's a bit later.
Yeah.
Nope.
So yeah, that starts off the first episode with a disgusting bang there. But yeah, I mean, it was the first episode. It's pretty good. Do we rate the episodes? I don't remember how we did. I don't think we rated each individual episode, did we?
We just rated the whole season. Well, we just say if it was a good, bad episode, but then we just
Okay,
rated it.
gotcha. I thought it was pretty good. I think that the first episode of season 1 is probably the best episode 1
Oh yeah.
to be. I can't really remember what the second season's episode 1 was.
It is just mirrored. The season 2, it could just be a bad memory. Season 2 just feels somewhat kind of forgettable.
No, not really. It's just like it.
I mean, I feel like it might just be me because it's just memory rather, than anything else. But I don't know.
Well, maybe a little. I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, like the biggest thing for me is like the whole Stormfront Nazi thing. I remember that.
Yeah.
Most. Yeah. All right. Let's see what's next here. Episode 2, "The Only Man in the Sky," directed by Phil Screecha, written by David Reed. The title of this episode should have told you exactly what scene was going to pop up in this.
Oh yes. Talk about
one of the most disturbing but hard lines in all of the show.
And just comic book history almost. I mean, it's crazy.
So yes, As the boys investigate Soldier Boy's death, Huey visits Red River, an orphanage for superpowered children, and copies its records, learning that Newman is Edgar's adopted daughter. How was that revealed for you?
That was. I wasn't expecting
Gus
it.
Fring had a daughter,
That's great.
adopted daughter.
Los Polos Hermanos child.
That's right. Um, yeah. Newman being his daughter surprised me when I first watched it.
Oh yeah.
It also made me go, of course. Of course, it's got to be a twist like this.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So let's see here. Frenchie and Kimiko confront Soldier Boy's widow, Crimson Countess, at a vault theme park, and it's had some of the funniest names of the stuff that was at this theme park. I believe one of them was Queen Maeve's LGBT turkey. And it was what was the other one? Woke Walk. That was another one.
Yeah, woke walk.
Um there's like a lot like that. It was very funny. And it was also Frenchie had a line when they got to the theme park that always makes me laugh. Where he sees the person eating the donut hamburger and he goes, a hamburger with donut for buns. That truly is no god here. I'm like,
what does that say about me? Because I've actually had one of those.
I've never had one. I've always wanted to try one though, but then again, I feel like I get really sick of it.
That's what we need to open up a new playlist on this channel called the
Trying
CB
fair food.
or something, and we need to try out some crazy fair food because I've had deep fried Kool-Aid. Like, how do you even do that?
I've had deep fried butter.
Whew.
That's the most like American.
That is American. Get that thing bacon wrapped. Yeah, there you go. Oh yeah.
Yeah, they go to Vaultland and they go to see Crimson Countess perform some kind of show. Actually, that episode was the first time he saw Soldier Boy technically, but it was on like an old war footage thing. But you come to find out he wasn't even in a war.
Yeah, I know. Oh man,
it was all just publicity.
Yeah.
They said he was talking about he stormed Normandy, and then they say later like he didn't storm Normandy. He got there 2 weeks after they stormed Normandy and posed for photos.
What's funny about it, it's like that's exactly what the U.S. government wanted Captain America to be in the movie.
Yeah,
you know, just like advertisement rather than. Oh god, it's so funny because that's exactly what they wanted in that. Yeah. Right.
So the Soldier Boy that's in this show is a lot different than the one in the comics. So the one in the comics is like, well, he also slept with Homelander, but we're not going to talk about that.
It sleeps with Homelander. He just like pisses his pants all the time.
Yeah.
Or he did that like that one time.
I thought it might have been that. It might have been like once, but
I thought he just kept doing it. It's like super weird.
Just a coward. But there's been multiple son. Oh my god, I almost said Son of Liberty. Sorry. Hey, there you go. Insider information right there.
There you go.
There's been multiple Soldier Boys in the comics. It's like a mantle. Yeah, let's see what's next here. So they go to the theme park. They try to talk to her, Kimiko and Frenchie. She plays her Pimps Don't Cry song. That was a big meme whenever this season came out.
Yeah.
Is that music video. So she tries to escape, and she mistakenly kills an innocent bystander in the process. Blows up a guy dressed as Homelander. Let's see. After learning of Newman's powers from Huey, Butcher takes a dose of V24 and uses it to kill Soldier Boy's former sidekick, Gunpowder. So yeah, we meet Gunpowder, Soldier Boy's sidekick, and Butcher's trying to get information about Soldier Boy from him at the gun rally, and it wasn't working. And they had like a shootout. It was pretty cool. It was a really well shot scene. I love it when the bullets like bouncing off of like all the walls and stuff, like into the cars.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, they you got that. But like I said, Butcher takes the V-24 and or Temp V. I'll start calling it Temp V because that's what they call it. And it gives him powers. He's got super strength. Um, he's invincible, and he can shoot lasers out of his eyes. Which, if you know Butcher, is not a good thing. It's also weird how he's decided to get powers, even though his whole thing is like hating people with powers.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a thing that they discuss a little bit in the show. But yeah, let me see. So,
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
so he kills Gunpowder, and that was pretty gruesome. He just beats him. Where Gunpowder's begging for his life, telling him that the CIA are the ones that took or the one CIA had something to do, and they know what happened to Soldier Boy, and that Grace Mallory was the head over it. And Grace Mallory is the one that works with the boys.
Yeah.
And so then he ends up killing Gunpowder. He bashes his head in and then lasers his head in half. It was disgusting.
It was fantastic. I love
it's fantastic. Sorry.
it. Say again.
It's fantastic.
I got it.
Okay. Gunpowder informs Butcher that Soldier Boy died in Nicaragua on a CIA mission led by Colonel Grace Mallory. Mother's Milk, rejoins the boys, so he's been off with his daughter, raising his daughter. You meet Todd this season. The stepdad.
Oh yeah.
What do you think about Todd?
I like him.
Well, there's an account on Twitter, it's just Todd. It's supposed to be like an in-universe account, and it's Todd, and he's always retweeting stuff about Homelander, and it's hilarious.
Yeah.
You should follow it.
I'll check. I didn't know about that.
Yeah, I'll sometimes retweet some of the stuff and say, "Shut up, Todd."
Shut up, Todd.
But yeah, he's raised his daughter. He's hearing about all the Soldier Boy stuff, and when we reviewed the first season, one of your things you said you wanted most was more of MM's story and fleshing out what he like his stuff, and you get that a lot in this season.
Yeah, I think that's what makes it a lot. I hate when we asked about like what's their favorite part. I didn't get to mention Mother's Milk because seeing him like I think that's what has a lot to do with season 3 of why I like it a bunch. Because seeing his life, outside of like work and all that is like really interesting.
Yeah, but he doesn't want to be doing this, but like he's got such an infatuation with like Soldier Boy being like it's like hurt like it's not like it's like basically living in his head rent free, you could say. Like
yeah.
And he's just like if he has this chance to take out Soldier Boy and he needs to do it. And so he basically goes back to joining the boys. Let's see, he seeks to avenge his family's death at Soldier Boy's hands, but you find out how that happened later. After learning that Stormfront committed suicide, Homelander lashes out during his televised birthday celebration and goes on a spiteful rant, claiming he is the world's savior under persecution from Vought executives. Yes, Stormfront kills herself.
Yes.
And he sees this while he's trying to save the girl from jumping off the roof, and he tells her, "You should jump." And she says she doesn't want to, and he was like, "No, I'm not asking." It's just like,
oh yeah, and he like it's.
And they also had like all the people on the ground with their like the cameras and stuff recording it.
Yeah.
Homelander's talking about how he's got a lot in common with Jesus.
The only man in the sky is me. I'm just like,
I can't wait till he dies.
Oh golly, the thing is, I don't want him to die yet.
Well, yeah. Well, it'll be the final season.
It'll be the final season.
Tell me how hype that fight was, real quick, on the Hero Gasm episode when they were like, you get Soldier Boy versus Homelander and Butcher, and all going at him. Oh, I was hyping that happen. I was so happy he was getting his butt kicked for a bit. Thought they were gonna get him too.
Something I want to see, and we were talking about this a bit, is we want to see him like lose his powers.
Yeah.
And then like learns like humility or something.
Yeah.
But like I mean, there's any chance of him like redeeming himself after
No, no,
no.
no way,
I got
no way, not happening. It is not gonna happen. Yeah, but we'll get to Hero-gasm in a minute.
yeah.
But yeah, that was episode 2. Good episode. I like that one.
Oh yeah, I like it too.
Okay, episode 3 has one of my favorite scenes in it. Barbary Coast, directed by Julian Holmes, written by Anselm Richardson and Jeff All. Homelander's approval rating among rural white males skyrockets after his rant. That was when he was on TV. Also, we forgot to mention that he went on TV and was talking about I'm smarter, I'm better, all
Oh
that
yeah.
stuff. And his approval went up, subjecting him to less scrutiny from flawed executives. Homelander, now believing himself to be untouchable and threatening genocide, pressures Starlight into publicly posing as his lover and reinstating the Deep. So this is also the episode where you get the Deep turning around thing.
Oh yes. Oh yes. I loved it. It was gross,
Um,
but
yeah. Let's see. All right, fearing for the safety of her ex-boyfriend Alex / Supersonic, who you do meet in this season, who is auditioning for a role on the Seven and like some kind of like American Idol type thing.
yeah.
Let's see. She pleads him not to join the Seven, and that Homelander would kill him if he does. They had dated before, I think, back when they were younger. However, he does so to support her. Mallory reveals to the boys that Payback was deployed to assist the CIA against communists in Nicaragua during the Cold War, but were ambushed during an attack by Russian and Nicaraguan soldiers that left Black Noir mutilated and Soldier Boy missing in action, supposedly killed by a Russian superweapon. Yeah, so that's the scene that I'm talking about. I really like. When you go back in time a little bit and you see Payback back when they were like, it's like back before the Seven and all that. So you see Soldier Boy and Gunpowder, the TNT twins. What's the other guy? Mindstorm, I think his name is. Swatto. That's an inside joke. You didn't know the guy with the little guy with the fly wings.
Oh, it's like
It's in the first season there was a scene that was between Butcher and Huey, and during it a fly kept like flying in between them, and all the fans noticed it and kept saying it was Swatto, and so they like brought in Swatto for this season.
oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Then Swatto died. So.
Oh.
Let's see. Butcher is enraged at Mallory for not disclosing the weapon's existence earlier and lashes out, and Butcher lashes out at Ryan before storming out. Yeah, that's what doomed him all, basically. He lashed out at Ryan, and Ryan now hates him. Now he's with Homelander at the end of it.
Yep.
He then has Frenchie contact the latter's former boss, Little Nina Namenko, to arrange transport to Russia. So yeah, we see Little Nina in this season. She's from the comics. She dies in a very hilarious way in the book she's in. I would say it, but age restriction.
Oh, I was like, wow, I was like, what can't you say?
She dies in a way that she dies from the inside, but like
I remember this from the book.
yeah.
Okay, I know exactly. I was just like, what? I'm trying to remember.
I didn't know how to explain it without being like
I remember. I
being
remember.
demonetized.
Yes, please do not. Please do not. Oh my god.
Okay, but yeah. So we meet Little Nina, and she wants this girl, Cherie, who is in the last 2 seasons, I think. Frenchie's friend, and because she stole some money from her or something, and that's why Frenchie wasn't really in that episode much. But then Butcher wants him to contact her so they can get transportation to Russia, and that was the end of the episode. This is where it really starts to set up stuff. Let me check the time of the meeting, by the way. 5 minutes. Oh. Oof. But yeah, episode 3 was good.
Oh yeah, I liked it.
Yeah. Episode 4, Glorious 5-Year Plan, directed by Julian Holmes, written by Meredith Glenn. Butcher meets Nina and negotiates the boys' travel to Russia in exchange for assassinating one of Nina's targets. Upon learning the V24, Huey asks Butcher to let him use it. Butcher refuses, but Huey secretly takes a dose and uses it to kill one of the Russian soldiers guarding a secret laboratory. This kind of skipped ahead a little bit, but yeah. So Huey's got teleporting powers. You also meet a gerbil named Jamie, who is also got powers. The gerbils from the comics.
I don't remember the I agree. I haven't
He
read
showed
it.
up. He showed Huey had a pet gerbil named Jamie in the comics,
Okay.
so it's a reference to that. But yeah, they get there, and Butcher and Huey both reveal their powers to the team. And inside of the big container thing that was in there, they find Soldier Boy, who releases a blast of energy out of his chest that depowers and wounds Kimiko for escaping. When I saw that, I thought they were going to kill Kimiko.
They're hinting at one of them dying.
Yeah. But let's see. When Kimiko, while escaping to stabilize Kimiko, Butcher theorizes the Russians experimented on Soldier Boy. During a press conference regarding Homelander's behavior, Newman betrays Edgar by accusing him of corruption. That's right. So Edgar gets arrested.
Yeah.
She went off script. Homelander basically convinced her to do it. Let's see. In return, Homelander provides Newman a sample of Compound V, which she injects into her own daughter. Yeah, that was something.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. Starlight recruits Maeve and Supersonic to help her face Homelander. Supersonic later attempts to recruit A-Train after witnessing him being mistreated by Homelander in the deep. Homelander keeps calling A-Train fat this whole season. However, A-Train tells Homelander of the planned coup, and Homelander later confronts Starlight with Supersonic's corpse and threatens to kill Huey unless Starlight complies with his demands. Yep, so Supersonic's dead.
Yep. I don't know.
Murdered.
Were you expecting that first time you saw it, or
no?
Yeah, I definitely was. I was just like, I was just like, what? Like, I don't know. I don't know. It was a moment where I was just like, almost where you don't even like really believe it. It was strange. Where I didn't want to face facts with it. I guess I don't know.
Yeah. It was crazy. Trying to see. Let's see. So yeah. You see a little bit of Soldier Boy. I know a lot of people liked it because you got to see Jensen Ackles' butt for once.
Yeah.
It was. I think Jensen Ackles' butt was trending on Twitter the day that happened. Like that exact like sentence. And
hashtag Jensen Ackles' butt. Like, I was really.
Yes, it was trending.
Okay.
And I'm trying to think. Yeah, so I mean, Soldier Boy's out. He's got a big beard and long hair when he escapes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was episode 4. Yeah, pretty good episode.
It was good. Probably the weakest of so far of what we've. The ending's cool and it has a little bit of good twists and turns, but I definitely love the first 3 a bit more.
Yeah.
For this one.
We also hear about Blue Hawk in this episode, who killed an African American man in a neighborhood like by curb stomping him, and it curb stomped him so hard he cracked the pavement. And this starts a scene that comes out in the next episode that is actually insane. But we'll get into that right now. Zoom's gonna kick us out in less than a minute, so we gotta go real quick. We'll be back. All right, next episode 5, The Last Time to Look on This World of Lies, directed by Nelson Craig, written by Ellie Monahan. Okay, so here we go. Frenchie admits Kimiko to a hospital where she's overjoyed to find she has lost her powers. So yes, Soldier Boy's big blast thing causes people to lose their powers.
Yeah.
So
no.
that's like
Blast bless that one guy with it. Bless
Who?
Homelander with
Homelander?
it.
Oh, I was like
Yeah,
that
yeah,
one
yeah,
guy.
yeah, yeah. I don't know
Well,
why I
you never
forgot his
know. I
name.
mean, the way this season ends off, CIA's got Homelander. I mean, not Homelander, a Soldier Boy trapped up in a box. Maybe they're going to make a weapon that out of using his. I don't know. Study him, see if they can make a weapon.
Yeah,
That could do that. I don't know. But yeah. So she and Frenchie bond and share a kiss, but Frenchie is later kidnapped by Nina. You also have the whole musical thing, which we had touched on. Um, yeah. So Frenchie and Kimiko's first kiss, and then he says, "I'm gonna go get coffee. Do you want coffee?" And she was like, "No," and he left. He said, "I'll be right back." And then little Nina and her people got him, so he didn't come back, and she sad. And I was sad.
yeah. I was like, no.
um, let's see. So I want to point this out before we get into one of the next things that happen. Throughout the few episodes, we've been having a couple scenes with A Train and his brother Nathan. Um,
Yeah,
and A Train had a new outfit made to represent his positivity for the cause of, like, I guess Black Lives Matter and stuff like that.
yeah.
But it was like a terrible looking outfit. Even everyone agreed.
Oh yeah,
Um, and so that we've had a few scenes with that. Um, but it really kicks in this one. But first, Huey reveals that his V24 usage to Starlight. She's upset about it. Maeve gives Butcher another batch of V24 before drinking and having sex with him. So there we go.
uh,
That was very surprising.
I know.
Considering who Butcher is and what his whole purpose is.
I know it's so weird. Like I know, very very hypocritical person.
Um, so also a very scarred person.
Uh, yes.
Um, but yeah, so that happens. That's the scene where he says that he wants to kill every last one of them. Um, and yeah. What else? What happens next? Uh, she is later captured by Noir and Homelander. So yeah, that was kind of a jump scare.
Oh yeah.
Noir, he like points behind her, and she turns around. Noir just jumps.
Just
Um,
grabs her. Yeah.
yeah. So she gets kidnapped. Let's see. Ashley Barrett is named Vault CEO after Edgar's departure. She's stressing out in this whole season. Feel bad for her. She's actually a really fun character because she's just like way in over her head about all this stuff, and
Oh
she
yeah.
makes like some of her lines are hilarious. Like I can't the is your idiot brain line, like I can't repeat it, but like it's mentioned like a few times in one episode. Homelander asks her, and then she asks some other guy. It's like, is your idiot brain being uh bleeped by stupid?
It's being bleak
I
festive.
don't know. I can't say it,
Well, I think that version's better.
but that's that scene. Okay, that's a stupid line, but it's funny. And whenever she says it to Cameron Coleman, the news guy, when she's in her office, she says you need to be punished, and she pulls out the oh my god, she pulls out the thing from her desk, which I will not disclose.
What was it? I don't remember. I don't remember what it was.
Uh, Nothing.
Yeah, it was she pulled out nothing. I
Yeah,
got
it's absolutely nothing. Yeah, but that was terrifying. Because his response to that was it was on par with the line in Suicide Squad where it was like, "Have you ever had 1,000 rats crawling up your butt?" He was like, "Oh, do you want that?" And he was like, "My answer may surprise you," and it reminded me exactly of
you. It's may surprise you.
that. So that happens there. Let's see. A Train tells fellow Soup Blue Hawk to issue a public apology for using excessive force against African Americans. And that's when we get to the part where he goes to do his apology in like the little town hall area. This scene was just oh my gosh. Um it's where uh he like he's talking to, and doing all this stuff. He was like, you know what? He said, actually, I'm not sorry because all this stuff making everybody mad, and then starts a huge argument, and then he just starts like attacking people,
Oh yeah.
like throwing people into like wall stuff, paralyzes A Train's brother. Um, yeah, it was crazy. Um, I don't know if we've missed it because it's not in the descriptions here. I think we did. The whole Beep eating the octopus. Timothy.
Oh yes. It's so.
Beep, eat Timothy. And
Oh yeah,
then
that
his
was.
girlfriend sending the message saying eat the octopus.
It
Oh
was so like. It's so like uncomfortable too, because like as far as he gets there as like a friend,
yeah, he
like, he's
says
like,
he's friends with him.
yeah,
And then like he's sitting there with him in his mouth, he's like he's praying. Gosh. It's just ugh. It's like so I watched an episode of the VFX breakdowns from Corridor Crew. I don't know if you watched those.
no,
Where so this guys sit on the couch and they break down like good and bad CGI and VFX for movies and stuff.
yeah. Oh yes,
Uh,
I have. I've seen it. Never mind.
yeah, and they did one about they did a few episodes about the boys, and they did one talking about how they did the octopus, and um, yeah, that happened. I think that was episode 3, maybe. All right. Upon his return to America, Soldier Boy inadvertently causes an explosion, alerting the boys. He gets triggered off of like Russian stuff, or stuff that makes him angry, I guess. MM, Huey, and Butcher learn from former Vault executive The Legend that Soldier Boy is going after Crimson Countess. So yes, The Legend shows up in this. Paul Reiser plays him.
Yeah,
Um,
he. I know some people thought about this. I don't think it would have ever happened. Some people were saying they wanted like an idea was apparently to get Stan Lee to be the Legend.
that would have been how they would have done that. I don't think Stan would have done that.
Yeah,
But I mean, The Legend is based off Stan Lee. So,
I mean, you think he would have done it or no?
no,
No, yeah, I don't think so either.
yeah, but yeah, Legend shows up. He's offering everybody cocaine immediately.
Oh yeah,
Um,
what a legend!
yeah. He tells them they're going after Crimson Countess. They go and they find her at her chimpanzee sanctuary. She's on a video call with Seth Rogen.
Oh yes. Where'd you go? Almost. Ah!
Oh my gosh.
Oh, that's my favorite scene of the entire thing.
Because Seth Rogen executive produces all of this show.
Yeah, I think doesn't he do Invincible as well?
Yeah, and he does Gen V.
Yeah, so he's like a big I guess he's like a big comic book fan.
Yeah. Um.
Yeah, he just did Ninja Turtles. Yeah, he's definitely like a a nerd, Kevin Smith and Seth Rogen need to team up on like a project
Kevin
together.
James.
Kevin James. Oh yeah, Kevin James.
Um. But let's see. Yeah, they find and incapacitate her. I thought it was hilarious when they get her on the video call, and she's sitting there like on the bed, and all of a sudden she goes, "What the?" And they just like tackle her. That's when it switches to Seth Rogen. The Soldier Boy arrives and kills Crimson Countess as revenge for giving him up to the Russians. Um, Huey tries to stop Starlight from bothering them. Butcher drugs Mother's Milk. Let's see. Butcher decides to partner with him, and Huey goes along despite Starlight's protests. And that was the episode. I like this episode.
I do like this
A lot of
episode.
stuff happened to it. Yeah, pretty good. In the next episode, episode 6, Herogasm, directed by Nelson Cragg, written by Jessica Chow.
This was the big one.
This is the most hyped episode of the whole season.
If not the whole series, maybe.
Oh yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I know they made it a huge marketing deal.
Oh
Talk
yeah.
about Herogasm, and they were
Like,
like saying,
like
they were like, don't let anybody watch this. It's not okay for anybody, is what they were saying.
yeah, not okay for anybody. Like the trailers, they would even like show it in the trailers.
Yeah, I want to
And
see what it said because originally it said something at the beginning of the episode before it played, and I don't remember what it was. Let me look. Warning before Herogasm. It said, um, it says some scenes. What no, is it? No, that's not it. Oh yeah. So it says some scenes may not be suitable for some, really most, let's be honest, all viewers. Rest assured that any consensual relationships depicted, be they human, animal, superhero, or other, aren't real, harm no one, and in fact, plus a hilariously large amount of visual effects.
I mean, it was uh, not to mention this was my favorite thing. Like I'd always ask you about, you get the Hero Gasm book with you. It was kind of weird because like
The book is, yeah, we both read the book.
yeah, it was kind of funny because we were both reading it together, both looking over, and my uncle was over. And, and I couldn't imagine his like he even mentions it. He's like, what were you and your friend reading? And like he says he just saw like that one page. It's like that one big 2-page panel, and it's like them at like the pool and all that.
Yeah.
And he thought we were being like weirdo. It's it's a little embarrassing. Like I wouldn't recommend anybody just read it with with your family
Yeah.
around.
It's so basically what Herogasm is a giant annual orgy of all superheroes.
Yeah,
Founded, you find out in the episode, by Soldier Boy and Liberty. And Liberty is actually Stormfront, for those of you who remember season 2. That was who
yeah,
she was before. So that's another thing that a lot of people were talking about. It was founded by them, right?
yeah.
Um, and so technically, and if we find out later that Soldier Boy is Homelander's dad, Soldier Boy did it with Stormfront, and so did Homelander. So
Oh,
yeah,
what? Oh,
yeah. Anyway, let's talk about Herogasm. The Deep and Homelander uncover security footage of Soldier Boy killing Crimson Countess, leading to Noir to cut out his tracking chip and disappear. So Noir's scared.
oh yeah.
Nina kidnaps Kimiko and Frenchie's former partner Sherry and forces them to choose who to execute. But Kimiko frees herself and kills Nina's henchman while Nina escapes. I mean, I'm pretty sure we don't see Nina again, so she could be back visually. Um, let's see. Newman privately reveals her powers to Starlight and proposes an alliance, but Starlight declines. Butcher and Huey help Soldier Boy track down his former teammates in exchange for his help in killing Homelander. I did want to mention we're also seeing a little bit that Butcher's starting to be a little sick from taking the Temp V.
Oh yes.
That starts to come into play around this point. Let's see. All parties converge at the TNT Twins residence in Montpelier, Vermont, where they're hosting Herogasm annual super orgy. Meat Love Sausage again. He gets his name.
Oh yeah.
Um, there was just a lot. It was literally 10 straight minutes of just.
And, I mean, do you think it delivers?
It's not as like crazy as the comic because I don't know if they could. I don't know if they had the money to go that crazy with it like they did in
Yeah,
the comics. And
yeah,
also, I
yeah,
don't
yeah.
think they would be allowed
Comic,
to do that.
the comic is absolutely like there's times I can't believe they got away with publishing it. And
But it's a hilarious like MM goes in there with Starlight, and he's like, we see the shrinking guy from the beginning of the
termite.
show, first episode, yeah, Termite, and
Yeah.
he like bumps into MM and gets something on his jacket, and MM's trying to wash it off, and he's getting mad. He's like, my favorite jacket, and he goes open the door and just just gets blasted. It's crazy.
It's
I was
so bro. Again, I can just picture it in my head. Like, yeah, that's exactly what happened.
I was just dying, and then you hear the voice of whoever it was go, "Lick it up, you yummy brown bear." It was
It's
just,
so, it's
God.
so it's so it's so it's so disgusting. And I mean, Darren, you're gonna say I'm a sick person, but I love it.
Oh
It's
my God.
great. It's so because thing is, you don't expect it. I mean, it's well, you do expect it, because I mean, at this point, you're season 3 into the show, and again,
Yeah.
you keep asking yourself the whole time, "Oh yeah, that's pretty bad," but
Yeah. This
it can't
show,
get.
and you want to know the craziest part, real quick? This
Yes,
show, you always think like, okay, there's no way they can one up this. Literally,
exactly.
the director, like Eric Kripke, literally said season 4 has probably one of the worst things he's ever filmed. Like, what?
It's
It's like,
like
what
it's like what do you mean the worst things? Like Yummy Brown Bear wasn't the max a superhero forcing a girl to jump to her death, saying
I
he
mean,
is God? Like,
uh,
what do you mean? What do you
it's
mean it
just
wasn't the worst?
crazy.
I mean, what do you
Um,
think it could be? Has he hinted at all of? I mean,
no.
I gotta see it.
Um, but so okay, so yeah, they're there. The TNT twins claim Noir also sold Soldier Boy out to the government. Um, Soldier Boy has arrived there. We also get Huey confronting A Train. A Train finally apologizes for killing Robin. Um, and let's see. Uh, Soldier Boy accidentally releases another energy blast, destroying the building and killing the twins and multiple guests while injuring the rest. Basically, killed everybody that was there.
Yeah,
Um, you see, it's always funny. You see Love Saucers go running out, like with the draped over his shoulder.
oh yeah.
Oh Lord.
it's it's so it's so nasty. It's like I mean, you can't.
Oh, we
Like,
forgot to. I forgot to mention the best part. The Deep.
oh
Starlight
yeah.
walks in. Starlight walks in on the Deep. Um, being intimate with an octopus.
Pretty
It was, and she immediately takes a picture of it. And then you see him once the place explodes. You see him running out with the octopus in a plastic
yeah,
bag.
it's hooked to him.
Oh my gosh. Um, but yeah, that was that. Let's see. Soldier Boy and an empowered Butcher and Huey join forces to overwhelm Homelander. So you get a Homelander fight, stuff going on. It was crazy. I was hyped that he was getting his butt kicked, and then he just flew away. Um, let's see. He escapes before Soldier Boy can nullify his powers. Yeah. A Train uses his powers to kill Blue Hawk, and then collapses from heart failure. So yeah, so Blue Hawk, uh, he's dead.
Yep.
Let's see here. Disillusioned Annie films a live stream announcing her departure from the Seven and publicly condemning Vought, Soldier Boy, and Homelander. So yeah, that was Herogasm.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you with I don't think it ever even could have ever lived up to the comics. Um I mean it's better written definitely, but it's a lot easier to write on paper, draw rather than,
Yeah,
do it.
act.
Acts, yes.
You should
And
have
you
seen the
have the
set photos from that.
oh yeah, I saw one. Oh no, it wasn't that. I have seen some. I saw one the other day for Gen V. It was with the shrinking girl.
Oh yeah, but
And
that was from that show. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, the show I just mentioned. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you. Okay, I thought you were
No,
referring to
but
the.
I would say I saw a couple of them. But yeah, I saw one for Gen V. It was like her and like the giant,
Yeah.
male, you know, young male,
Oh,
But
jeez.
it was super. I want to bet like being on the set of that show is like super fun.
Apparently it
I mean,
is.
I mean, I'm like, because I'm sure they like obviously it's, get some work done, but I'm sure it's just like, check out this prop we made today. Everybody go mess around with it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um, yeah, that was a Hero Gasm. Good episode.
Oh yeah.
It was insane.
Hmm.
All right, let's see here. Next episode, episode 7. Here comes a candle to light you to bed. Directed by Sarah Boyd, written by Paul Grelong. Hiding out an abandoned Buster Beaver's pizza restaurant, Noir is visited by his imaginary friends, who are the pizza franchise's mascots. What did you think about that?
That was, I know you were excited.
I was excited. What's that supposed to mean?
You were excited. I know you were.
No, I was like, what is going on?
Well, you were excited because I don't know. Heck if I know.
Yeah, what are you talking?
I don't know. I just knew you were happy for some reason. I don't know. Are you not happy?
I mean, I was happy with it in the fact that like I was like, okay, this is what we're doing. But
Yeah,
like
exactly.
I was
See, you're happy. So I'm right.
were you not happy? What was
Well, I mean, no. I mean, I was happy. I was just like, I don't.
what is this converse?
I don't know. I just said I don't know. I don't know really what I was going with it.
All
I was hoping you
right.
just play. I'll be like, yeah, I was happy.
Well,
I make small talk here.
okay. They reenact his abuse at Soldier Boy's hands and the ambush in Nicaragua. He and most of the rest of Payback, sick of Soldier Boy's abuse, conspire to trade him to the Russians on Edgar's behalf. They convince him that the bravest thing to do is to confront his fears and face Soldier Boy. In the present, A-Train is successfully revived after receiving a heart transplant from Blue Hawk, with Barrett covering up Blue Hawk's death by saying that he was among the victims of the Hero Gasm incident. So yeah, A-Train gets brought back, but with the racist guy's heart. So he can run again, but at what cost?
Exactly.
Yeah, so that was
Imagine being told that. Yeah, you have a heart with some racist dude's heart. Oh, okay.
yeah, it was awful. Okay, let me see here. All right, yeah, here we go. Butcher, Huey, and Soldier Boy seek payback member Mindstorm, who subdues Butcher, trapping him in memories of his abusive father and suicide of his little brother Lenny. Just get some Butcher backstory. His brother killing himself.
Yeah.
It was pretty grim.
Yes, very.
Yeah, so Butcher's bad as an awful person, but I think we also kind of learned that last season. Let's see. Huey convinces Mindstorm to revive Butcher in exchange for his freedom. But Soldier Boy, kills Mindstorm shortly after. So yeah, Soldier Boy and Huey run into a nun and a priest, and I use this meme on Twitter of him shooting the priest, but it's just like they're just talking. All of a sudden, he pulls a gun out, shoots the dude. And Huey's like, "Oh my god, dude, what are you doing?" And the nun's like crying, and screaming. And he's like, "This is Mindstorm's MO. They're gonna attack us." And then the nun does attack, but I'm assuming I don't know if it was a self-defense or if it was actually mind control.
What if it was the priest that was good? But the nun like it was.
Wow.
Oh, good lord.
Yeah, Mindstorm.
Soldier Boy's the best. I don't care. I don't care what you say. He's a good person. I swear.
No, he's not.
Even though I was saying earlier that he wasn't.
So he's also like hearing voices. He's got PTSD. He's hearing a lot of voices. He keeps thinking Huey says something. He slaps Huey at one point, like Sean Connery.
Yeah, I know. It's pretty. It's like, dang. Oh yeah. He's just straight up. Yeah, he just hits him.
Yeah, he says, "I warned you." Like he did, technically. I mean, but yeah. So Soldier Boy ends up killing Mindstorm after Mindstorm tells him something that shocked him. He basically he throws a throwing knife in the dude's eye first off, and then he just starts beating him, and like till his face is like just caved in. I love Jensen Ackles as an actor. That's why I want him as Batman, because I feel like he's good at showing like emotion. And for Batman, I feel like he'd be good at like don't know, just his acting style in this reminds me of like Batman losing control.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Um, but let's see. They kill Mindstorm. While retrieving Compound V for Kimiko at Vault, Andy discovers that V24 will kill users after 3 to 5 doses. Homelander confronts Annie regarding her live stream, but she records him confessing to his crimes and posts it on social media. Frenchie injects Compound V into Kimiko, healing her injuries and restoring her powers. Annie informs Butcher of V24's risks, but Butcher chooses to withhold this information from Huey. Soldier Boy calls Homelander and reveals that he is his biological father. Now I know you may have been spoiled by this before.
Him being his biological father.
Yeah.
Yes, I heard it. So I can't. Most likely Twitter. So yes, I did hear this before. Or I kind of forgot about it. It's one of those things where you forget about it, but as soon as you hear it, you're like, oh, I can't believe this. Oh wait,
Well,
yeah.
now you
Well,
can imagine. Yeah, now you can imagine like the feeling of this episode coming out, having and then that ending being so insane, and having to wait a week.
Yeah.
It was such a crazy cliffhanger.
I thought he was like trolling him for a minute. Like he really wasn't. And then I was like, oh, he is. Oh my god.
Yeah. So there's that. And that was the end of episode 7. I really like episode 7. I like the whole Mindstorm stuff.
Yeah, I do too. It's good.
And that leads into the finale, episode 8, the Instant White Hot Wild. I think this episode has a lot of crazy moments in it, which is why I like it. But I also know a lot of people think this is like the worst finale, and that the finale dropped the ball like totally. So I think it was decent. It was pretty good. I mean, I don't know what your thought is there.
I mean, I liked it. It was pretty good. Definitely a good cliffhanger.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and get into that. Homelander finds Ryan and reconciles with him. Of course. And unwilling to harm Huey further, Butcher abandons him, knocks him out, and not letting him take the Temp V, but Butcher keeps taking it. So Huey doesn't know that it's killing Butcher. And let's see. Huey then meets Annie to apologize. Maeve escapes Vault's custody and meets with Huey, Annie, and MM. Homelander kills Noir for withholding the knowledge of him being Soldier Boy's son. Yeah, Noir dies.
Yeah, that was that really shocked me. Any death we see this season, that one really shocked me. I didn't think Black Noir would die until I knew he would at some point, but like not until like way later.
Yeah. But he'll be back next season. So there you go. So I guess Vault's replacing him. I don't know exactly what the details is of like why he's back, but we know that he's come back and he's being played by the same guy, I think. But I might be able to see that guy's face, maybe.
Yeah.
Anyway. Let's see. A dying Noir is comforted by his imaginary friends who state that they're proud of him. Butcher and Soldier Boy meet with the boys, Annie and Maeve, and trap all but Maeve in a safe room before leaving her and Soldier Boy, leaving with her and Soldier Boy to kill Homelander. When Ryan, okay, so they get there and they meet up, right? Soldier Boy has this whole thing where he doesn't want to be like his dad. And his dad always told him that he was a disappointment and all that stuff. And I really like this, like, kind of writing right here because he's like, I don't want to be like my dad. My dad was always calling me disappointment and that he hated me and I was weak and all stuff. You know that he says he doesn't want to be like that to his own son. But then one of the first things he says to his son is, "You're a disappointment." Like he immediately like did what his own dad did.
Oh yeah, immediately. Yeah.
And so we get like the whole thing. Ryan gets introduced to Soldier Boy. They start a fight. Ryan lasers Soldier Boy, and Soldier Boy attacks Ryan, and that's when Butcher starts attacking Soldier Boy. So everyone's turned on each other.
Oh yeah.
And so there's a huge fight going on. It's crazy. Let's see. Huey evacuates the building. Kimiko and Frenchie are down in the lab trying to create something to maybe take down Soldier Boy. Frenchie gets shot, but Kimiko puts on the song "Maniac." I can't remember who sings it. You know, everyone knows what song I'm talking about.
Yeah. I can't remember.
Yeah, but press that on, she absolutely just rips all of them to shreds. Yeah, let's see. So this the fight's going on. Homelander's fighting Maeve. Um, she okay. So they're fighting, and he pokes her eye out. He's missing an eye now.
Yes.
And that happens. She shoves a pencil in his ear. And
That actually
Starlight.
kind of got. I was just like, I don't know,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Eye and ear stuff. That's what gets me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you got both of that in that one scene.
I know. double whammy on my part, I guess. I don't know.
You got this whole fight going on. Starlight shows up with MM. They break Soldier Boy's shield, and this whole fight going on. Huey's in the power room. He cranks up all the power, so Annie gets all that energy, and she starts flying. And it takes Soldier Boy off guard to the point where everyone runs up to him, and they put that gas on him that Kimiko and Frenchie made, and his chest starts lighting up. I was getting ready to kill a bunch of people, and Maeve decides to run up and tackle him out the window, and he explodes, and you presume that Maeve is dead.
Yeah.
And possibly him as well. And then Homelander's there. Butcher's trying to protect Ryan, Homelander, and Ryan chooses Homelander over Butcher, and they leave. And then so that was the whole big fight. We go now next to skipping something. Let me make sure I'm getting this right. So at the end of the Butcher's standing there, and the green stuff is coming out of his nose, and he wipes it and looks at it, and he passes out. Wakes up in the hospital. Doctor tells him he's only got about 12 to 18 months to live.
Mm-hmm.
So this just starts kind of making you realize that the show's gonna be ending soon, and because like season 5, I'm pretty sure is when it ends, and it's gonna end probably with Butcher. Well, something to do with the soup virus and Gen V. I'll say that probably, and then him maybe getting a hold of that and then killing all the soups, and then he dies.
Yeah, that's what I think so as well.
Yeah. So that's that. But we have he's terminally ill due to the V24. Annie joins the boys and burns her Starlight suit. Soldier Boy is in government custody now. He's with I guess the CIA. The director said he'll be back eventually, but it won't be anytime soon. So we'll see.
They're not season 4.
Yeah, probably not. Then again, we don't know if the show's ending with season 5, but I just assume it is. Eric Kripke normally ends his shows at season 5. Supernatural was supposed to end at season 5.
And how long did it go?
15.
15?
Yeah.
Oh my god!
But it was good, so
I didn't realize it went on. I remember it was kind of like long. I thought it was like 8 seasons. You tell me that they went on for 15?
Yeah, it was a good show. Everyone loved it, and then
I
started getting to.
Oof, God.
Yeah. But this isn't gonna go up to 15 because I think Eric Kripke, he still stayed on as a producer, I think, but he stopped directing Supernatural after season 5. That was like the end of his vision. But yeah, so it was in custody. Find out that Victoria Newman is now running for vice president alongside Robert Singer, which is just great. And then Butcher looks at sees on the TV and says, "Yeah, she's got to go." And then we end the episode with a Homelander rally. And all these people are there for Homelander. He shows up, introduces his son, who can now fly.
Yep.
And they're showing off. Somebody calls him a fascist and throws a bottle at his son. So everything immediately gets silent. It's like the most intense silence ever.
Oh yeah.
Because you're like, as the viewer, you're like, oh.
Oh yeah, Homelander's about to lose it.
Yeah, and he did, and he lasered the guy in front of everybody.
His head, he does his like head, right?
Yeah, like right through his head. And it was just like people covered in blood. There was complete silence. Everyone was like staring in shock. And then, who do you think? None other than Todd is the one that starts cheering, and everyone cheers. And he
Yeah.
smiles, and Ryan smiles,
Hey.
and it's over.
All right. That's my favorite meme that ever came out of this show. That and Soldier Boy shooting the priest head off.
Yeah.
Off that both of those. And it plays like the music too.
Yeah.
Hey, all right. It's like, oh yeah.
That is the craziest cliffhanger.
Oh
'Cause
yeah.
now he can do whatever because he knows people support him.
Yeah. He can get away with whatever.
It's
Pretty much.
Um, I did want to point out that it was very satisfying to see MM punch Todd in the face and knock him out.
Oh yeah.
I cheered when that happened.
Yeah, Mother's
Yes.
Milk. Is that
Okay, so I was going to point out as well, and they did this with every season. They're still doing it now, I think. There are in-universe like accounts. Vault International is one of them on social media, and
that one's good.
they post like Cameron Coleman news broadcasts about what's going on in between the seasons. So right now you have Homelander's going to trial. We know that, but we'll see how that works. Yeah, but that is the end of season 3, and you're officially caught up with The Boys.
Yeah. So
Well, technically, you got Gen V, but that's not really The Boys.
I still got Gen V, but I'm
Gen V is literally basically The Boys season 4. I don't know why they didn't just make it that.
I mean, you think that's what they should have done?
Yeah, well, it's a spinoff as well. We already know it's getting a second season. It's really good. Like it feels like the same show, just like it did new characters. Like, but that's about it. Really interesting. Yeah. I do want to mention Deep and A-Train mentioned Dr. Brink, and that's somebody that trained them. And Dr. Brink is actually Clancy Brown's character in Gen V.
Isn't he like?
Yes.
Like, yeah.
No spoilers, but yes.
Yeah. Now I'm wondering. Now, I'm trying to think here. I don't know what I was going to say. From what I saw, I don't think I was disappointed, but I don't know how much is Tech not even like in that show.
It's only one episode.
It's only one episode of like, okay, yeah. Probably shows
but
up.
He'll be in season 4.
Okay, good.
And they're introducing in season 4 their version of. I have less than a minute in the meeting.
Uh-oh.
Well, hang on. I'll get back to that thought in a second. Yeah, but Boys season 3. They said we'll talk about Gen V next year at some point. This show, I mean, definitely sets up Gen V. Gen V connects a lot with it. I mean, it brings Victoria Newman's in Gen V. It's where you learn something about her powers, which I had mentioned, but I'm not gonna spoil. And I mean, the director of the fake like Justice League movie at the beginning of the season that was like a Snyder joke.
I know, right?
Hashtag release the board cut.
Yeah, release the board.
I think I think it's a professor at the school. He's a film professor, but I mean, he's in it. Ashley Barrett shows up. It's just a lot of different like crossovers and stuff. It's really fun. Yeah. So I guess we'll talk about. I mean, what did you think of what you already said was your thoughts were of this season at the beginning? What did you think of The Boys?
Yeah, hey, good so far. I'm really excited season 4, especially after those teaser posters we got not too long ago.
Yeah.
Very, very, very excited to see what's going to be coming up here soon.
Yeah, and that'll be next year. I think they said they're already halfway done with it, and now they can film, so they'll be able to. Or they already had finished filming, They just had a
Yeah,
lot
they-
of post editing to do and stuff.
yeah.
Yeah. I don't think I have much else to say. I guess we rate season 3 out of 10.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what exactly I would like to give it. I mean, it's been my favorite so far. So, episode 3 was kind of boring to me, at least. I don't know about you, but that's
Episode
kind of like
3 was the one where you get to see Payback back in the war and all this stuff.
yes.
And that's the one where
That's the one where you see I can't remember. But yeah, well see, I can't even remember. That's the point. Right, but
I think
like
you may mean episode
it's
4.
not 4. It's
Four's the
not
one
4.
where they find Soldier Boy.
Yeah, that's where he fully comes in. Yeah, it's not that one. It's literally the one right before that. So it's 3.
So then it was 3. So it's the one you didn't like the oh, this is the episode where you get the octopus scene and you get the one where
Yeah.
the one where they reveal the deep is coming back to the 7 and then the camera shows them turn around and
Wait, is it
do-
3 or is it 2? Or
That's 3.
Or is it 2? Is it
That's
2?
3.
I'm thinking of. It was one where it was boring.
2 is
I was just bored with it a bit.
2 is, let's see, the one where he goes, the only man in the sky is me.
Oh, dang, which
And
one?
then-
I wonder
I
if
don't know.
what am I thinking of then? You know what? Whatever. I'm gonna give this a 8.5.
Okay. I'm gonna give it a 9.
I want to give it a 9, but I feel like season 4 is gonna be better. Because I think a lot of good stakes there, and I'm really ready. Really ready to see it. So I'm gonna save that 9 for season 4, and hopefully it will deliver.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess with that, we can go ahead and get out of here. So, thank you all so much for joining us for this extra beef episode. Little reminder of what we got coming up in the year. I'll go ahead and name off all the rest of the stuff. Next week we have the Game Awards 2023 predictions and voting episode. We're gonna go through and we're gonna vote for all the categories, and we're also gonna predict what we think will show up at the show. The week after that will be the Game Awards, I think. Yeah. So we'll be doing a live stream with that. You guys can check that out.
Yep.
And then we're gonna take a break after that, a week break, and then we'll come back with maybe a 2-week break. I'm not sure. And then we'll come back with Aquaman 2, and that will be it for us for the year until we come back in January for for What If season 2 and Echo.
Yes.
Um,
I guess we'll go with, when is Echo season? When is
January 10th. All 5 episodes come out.
Okay.
Which is that first Wednesday or second Wednesday.
Okay.
Yeah. With that being said, though, we're gonna go ahead and get out of here, and we will see you all in the next one. Bye, guys.
See ya.
Real heroes don't use drugs.